I'm a white guy from Wisconsin with average athletic ability, okay?
Yeah.
I had a battle every single year my 6 years in the NFL. And it was anything but luscious. I ended up tearing both my Achilles. I broke both of my feet. I had 7 surgeries when I played in the NFL.
Wow.
Like, when I say grit, like, there were so many times in the NFL journey where I was like, man, it would just been so easier to say, Sarah, my wife, I think it's time for us to just pack it up. Like, it was a good ride. But, like, it got to finally my end of my career where I was like, all right, I am ready to transition. I think kind of God orchestrated and guided me that way. But it was those things along the journey. It wasn't the ups, Chris. The real life lessons, man, it was like the dark days. That built the foundation of who I am, because when you strip everything down and you're able to build that foundation, man, you can build something special.
Welcome to Well Coached, the podcast where we talk about how people, sales, profit, and self come together to grow a business that actually works. I'm Chris Weinberg. I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs into their highest productivity zone by helping them get just corporate enough to lead with clarity, build with purpose, and scale with confidence. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is where we explore real stories behind growing businessmen, businesswomen, and their personal development. And today I'm joined by a good buddy of mine, Vince Biegel. He is a former meathead NFL linebacker who has seamlessly transitioned into the world of real estate and athlete mentorship. This gives us a ton to talk about. We're going to talk about his journey from the gridiron to entrepreneurship and the testament to the power of transferable skill sets, grit, determination, and being coachable. We'll delve into how his upbringing on a Wisconsin cranberry farm instilled relentless work ethic, and how he's applying lessons from football and from the farm into all of his new adventures, how faith and family are the drivers of his life before anything else. And this just could be a fun conversation. Vince is a super good guy. We actually met the weirdest way. I was on, I don't know if it's spring break or fall break, and we were down in Florida. Vince was still living in Florida at the time. I was upstairs working on a business call. My wife, who doesn't talk to any strangers, she's like stranger danger. I come down to the pool and I see Roxanne talking with Vince's wife, and I went, oh my gosh, what has happened here? And they had just become fast friends. And fast forward, Vince and Sarah were transitioning out of Miami and up to Nashville, and boom, we've become fast friends and good friends since then. So welcome to the show.
Chris, man, thank you for the warm introduction, man. It's great to finally be on the show. I just think it's funny how God kind of orchestrated us together before I even came to Nashville. Yeah. And what was even crazier was the guy who really got me to Nashville, a guy named Mike Hull, was your neighbor.
That's right.
So talk about a small world. And, Sarah and I, we love Nashville here. It's been a great place to transition to away from football. A lot of former athletes here and entrepreneurs. So I feel like it's just it's the best of all worlds, and I feel my family feels right at home here.
Yeah, this city is so good for people in transition. I mean, it's just that Nashville is, I've been here 15 years now, but it's so welcoming. It's so welcoming for people moving into their next chapter. It's just you can make it here. If you've got grit, determination, a good idea, you're able to build a network here pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, there's always something going on, Chris, whether it's a new real estate development, like a new business idea, the city's always alive, transient. Like there's so many things in the music industry. There's so many things I love about Nashville, and we're excited, our family, to build some deep roots here.
Good. Well, we're happy to be a part of it. We're going to dive in here. And guys, we stay in the lanes of people, sales, profit, self. I'm going to walk us through that, and let's go. So, Vince, how's your experience in team sports, which you've done all your life, influenced the way that you are now building and leading teams in your real estate venture? And by teams, you've got all these contractors around. You're now leading other people, even from different industries. How has being coached all your life and being in those team sports, how's that influencing your leadership journey now?
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris. I grew up in a football family. My dad played college football at BYU. My uncle played there. My grandfather coached his whole entire life high school football. Is actually in the National High School Hall of Fame for head coaches. So I was always surrounded by, team sports and, being in a competitive environment. And I really am fresh out of football too, Chris. My last season was the 22 to 23 season with the Ravens. And, we're 13 months here in Nashville and run 4 projects in real estate. You are the leader, right? You're developing it. So you have, your GC, you have your designer, your architect, working with codes. So it's always, you're always problem solving. And I think, what comes to me is resiliency and grit, because there's always going to be adversities and stuff that happens, and just continue to battle through those. And then also just having that vision to what's this final product going to look like, and moving everybody towards that at all times. Yeah. I tell Sarah, pushing the ball forward. I got to keep pushing the ball forward today.
I love the athlete speak. You guys are so used to being coached. You're used to being knocked down, and you're used to getting back up.
Yep.
And those are such lessons in business, man. I always feel like athletes who made it, even through high school, being a good athlete, you've got so much grit just instilled in you that word doesn't even mean anything, because it's all you know.
Well, too, Chris, I'm a white guy from Wisconsin with average athletic ability. Okay.
Yeah.
Grew up on a cranberry farm, like you mentioned. And my NFL career was I had a battle every single year, my 6 years in the NFL, and it was anything but luscious. I ended up tearing both my Achilles. I broke both of my feet. I had 7 surgeries when I played in the NFL.
Wow.
And when I say grit, there were so many times in the NFL journey where I was like, man, it would just been so easier to say, Sarah, my wife, Sarah, I think it's time for us to just pack it up. It was a good ride. But I always just had it in me, F that dude. Let's just keep fighting, man. Let's just one more down, one more play. Let's just keep fighting. And it got to finally my end of my career where I was like, all right, I am ready to transition. I think kind of got orchestrated and guided me that way. But it was those things along the journey. It wasn't the ups, Chris. It wasn't the getting drafted. It wasn't the becoming the starter. The real life lessons, man. It was the dark days that really built me. That built the foundation of who I am, because when you strip everything down and you're able to build that foundation, man, you can build something special.
Yeah, that's good. How about talk about growing up on the cranberry farm a little bit, and even back it up from all of the organized sports. How did your family's work ethic how's that shaping your approach to business in life?
So I grew up in Wisconsin Rapids. You throw a dart, Wisconsin's right in the middle of the state. My great-great-grandfather was an immigrant, ended up started working on the marsh. And over time, he bought shares out and ended up buying that marsh. And then my great-grandfather took that torch and he carried it forward. And then my grandfather took that torch and carried it forward again. And then now I have all aunts and uncles all over Wisconsin who own marshes. And then my mom and dad, I saw them take that torch and carry it forward. And I see my sister now taking that torch and carrying it forward. And when you see that type of generation, I saw my great grandfather working, and who am I to say, if I see a 70-year-old man out there working, who am I to say no as a young kid? Mm-hmm. And to me, that's where that foundation was of hard work. The hard work came from there, because I saw the work being done. It's one thing to talk about the work.
Yeah.
It's one thing to see the work.
Yeah. I think folks that grow up in those kind of environments, or the hardest working people, they don't even use those words, because that's all they know. They don't. Yeah. You don't wake up going, I got to go work hard today.
Yeah.
It's just your DNA. It's what you do you wake up every day and show up.
Yep. 100%. And I saw that day in and day out, Chris, right? I
saw you were modeled. You had models to look at.
And then I had this weird twist of, to give context, that was my mom's side of the family. My mom's side of the family was all these entrepreneurs and farmers. And then my dad's side of the family was all football. Right. Wow. So then my dad comes in and he kind of always told me, hey, if you're in football, you don't got to work on the farm.
This is a motivator.
So I was like, oh shoot, I kind of like this football thing, and working on the cranberry farm is pretty dang tough work.
Yeah.
I might try this football thing
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Good decision.
Yeah, it was a good decision, but like at the time, I was like, hey, I kind of like this football thing.
Yeah.
Let's see how far I can go.
Yeah. And then you stayed at home and went to Wisconsin.
Yeah, and kind of that story was high school football has a lot of success in high school football, was the number 1 ranked linebacker coming out of Wisconsin. Actually, the number 3 linebacker in the country coming out that year. Committed to Wisconsin. I was deciding between there, BYU, and Michigan. And my dad went to BYU. My grandfather coached there. And, I really just wanted to stay home. Wisconsin was coming off 3 Rose Bowls. And it was a really good situation. So stayed there in Wisconsin, and I'm really thankful I did, because I met my wife Sarah there. I had an incredible time there. We graduated the most winning senior class in school history. So I really enjoyed my time at Wisconsin. And then, even fast forward to that, Chris, got drafted by the Green Bay Packers. My name is Vince Biegel. I was named after Vince Lombardi, who was the head coach in Green Bay. So, yeah, man, it was a crazy journey to Green Bay in the NFL, but it was really the kind of Wisconsin kid's dream, if you will.
Yeah. You just about up to that point in your life, that's just about a Hallmark movie.
It was.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you, Chris, like you talk about grit, like adversity. Let's talk about it. My childhood dream, right? Get drafted by Green Bay. My first day on the job in Green Bay, I broke my finger.
Oh man.
So okay, no worries, Chris, right? Hey, broken finger. I had got surgery on it that day. I wrapped it up. I was like, I'm going to practice the next day. Second day on the job, I re-break my foot. And they come in there and say, Vince, we see on your foot that your other foot actually has a slight fracture too, a potential fracture is going to happen. So what we're going to do is, Vince, we're going to do surgery on both your feet. So again, this is rookie mini camp.
Wow.
I haven't met the team yet. So the decision was made. We're going to do surgery on both of your feet, Vince. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to meet the Green Bay Packers, my team that I'm playing for, in a wheelchair. The guy, Clay Matthews, who my locker was next to, a guy who I grew up idolizing, I met the dude in a wheelchair.
Wow.
And you want to talk about starting from the bottom? You want to talk about like a reality check, welcome to the NFL moment? That was my...
You're not the star anymore.
That was my welcome to the NFL, Chris, in a humble way.
Wow. That must have been quite a journey.
And then we battle it, and then I battle back. We play in the season. I come back, and I play the rest of the season. It was like after week 6. And then they get a new general manager, head coach. And Chris, the team I grew up loving and looking out for, they ended up releasing me. And that was hard because I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
And a team called New Orleans picked me up. And I went down all the way down to New Orleans. And I don't know if any of the viewers have been to the New Orleans. It's a great place to visit. It's a great place to visit. And I mean that in the most respectful way. It's a great place to visit, but I'm not trying to live.
But a Midwestern boy with certain values, that's not the right spot.
Yeah. And I love my time in New Orleans, but like, that's just the nature of the business, right? Of NFL. That's the nature of business of football. So, again, we go back to that grit, rigor. That's kind of where some of that stuff came from, Chris.
Yeah. And all of that is now. So you fast forward, you make your exit from the NFL, but all of those punches that you've taken, literally, have given you the courage to go try new things. And for you, the new things have been hopping into the real estate world, and then hopping into PAC, where you're getting to mentor and athletes that are coming behind you.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, share some of your insights into your current real estate projects. What are you up to? And how has it been navigating this brand new industry for you?
Yeah. Can I talk about, Chris, how I got in the real estate stuff? Like, so you mentioned PAC, Pro Athlete Community. We basically host, these business combines, events for current, former professional athletes, not just football, for athletes. And I know both the CEO really well. I went there, and dude, it changed my life, because I, for the first time, saw myself other than a professional athlete. And also which
must have been so freeing.
It is, Chris.
That must have been so. I can imagine that's such an exhale moment. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of ex-NFL athletes around me, and when I live in North Carolina, and so many of them, a common drumbeat was, we stay in this game longer than we should because we don't know what to do next.
That's right. And Chris, so many guys are like that. You know, there's a crazy stat. There's a reason why over half of NFL professional athletes, like over 50% of football players, are financially stressed 2 years after their last season.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Financially stressed.
Yeah.
And I just had it in me, like, I'm not going to be like that. Like, it was just a fire in me that I wasn't going to be like that. And the story, a really powerful story that aligns with that, Chris, was I had a special teams coordinator in Miami. I'm not going to name his name, but a guy I'll never forget. Special teams coordinator. He told our room, said, shut the F up and listen to me. All of you guys will never make as much money as you guys are right now. So you're going to listen to me right now. And like, first of all, two things that came from that was, I don't ever want a man to talk like that to me ever again.
That's right.
And number two is, who are you to tell me what I am and what I'm not going to be?
Amen.
And that fueled me because I know the NFL stands for not for long. Yeah. So I'm going to have to reinvent myself at some point. And so my last couple of years in the NFL, I kind of was like, every offseason I started taking financial literacy courses and real estate courses and talking to people, mentors. I was using the NFL Shield. And two things that I noticed with, people who amassed wealth and were successful. There's two things in common. They own businesses and or real estate. It was that simple. And I was like, dang, bro. I was like, that's it. It's real estate and business. And let's reverse engineer it, like figure out what I like and let's work. Mm-hmm. So I ended up connecting with a former teammate, Mike Cole, your neighbor. How this whole world comes up.
Mike.
Shout out Mike Cole. And, Mike was doing real estate at a high level here. Jumped in with Mike as my business partner and, now 4 projects deep, from historic renovations to rezoning to a couple spec builds, and an Airbnb on Music Row. So, I'm a type of guy, Chris, I'm going to go all into it. And I'm also going to surround myself with really good people too, who know the business and kind of some rails to be able to help guide me. So
what I'm hearing out of that team out there is his connections meant everything. So you get out there, meet, greet, you never know. You are one person away from unlocking the next chapter of your life. So you stay open to that. You figure out, I love the way you said you reverse engineered how to get yourself going. That, to what I hear there, is student of the game, continuous learner. You always want to be learning something. Well,
that's why, Chris, I love spending time with you, man, because, we've gone on family vacations like our families have. And I'm sorry if I bother you, but I'm always a pest. I'm like, Chris, what do you think about this? I'm like, what about that type of service business? But what about that restaurant? And like, I just love, because you're a seasoned vet, man. Like, I respect you immensely, and I just love learning. Like, and you're a great example of that. It's just so always learning and surrounding yourself with good people, i.e. you, Chris.
Yeah. Well, and that's it for today. Thanks. I appreciate that, but that's not why I brought it up. But I appreciate that. I love the curiosity that you have, and folks, stay curious, right? So many people don't. They just, golly, you can read it on people's faces when life's just beat the hell out of them and they think they're in their lane, and your current situation is not your final situation unless you want it to be.
That's right. That's right.
You had an opportunity, as a lot of athletes do, or really anybody in any career, when that career comes to an end, and it likely will, people change careers.
Yep.
You can either put your head down in the sand and go, woe is me.
Yep.
Or you can pick your butt up and say, what's next? And curiosity helps that, and connection helps that.
Yeah. And I think for sure, Chris, like, I think the grit, rigor, everything too. And then I'll also play into like, the old, pick yourself out by bootstraps. Absolutely. But I'll also like play into like, I think so many entrepreneurs, so many people just, they don't really take one step back for 1 second and say, hey, what do I want in my life? Mm-hmm. How do I want my life to look? And I think being able to take one step back and just saying, hey, what are my values? How do I want to operate as a husband, as a father? What do I want my days to look like? That allowed me to kind of realize, like, I kind of want to go this route, right? Because I strongly considered going to the NFL. I actually had an opportunity to start coaching. And my values, which is my family, my faith, and one of them, my big core values is freedom. When you're a coach,
none of that,
brother, you are locked in. Those guys put in crazy hours. And I was like, I don't want to raise my girls.
Yeah.
And that's kind of,
I was just watching a short video with Bruce Pearl this morning. He's the basketball coach at Auburn. And I think it came up, I was watching a clip of it about how much longer you're going to do this. And he said it's coming to an end because he said, my priorities are shifting. He said, I've lost all this family time because of that. He said, but I'm not much longer. I still love the game.
Yeah.
But there's other things I want to be starting to focus on.
And I love the game too, Chris.
Yeah.
I love the game of football. And thanks for sharing that. I love the game. I just love my family more.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Choosing the right spouse is everything, and it can either make your business or it can break your business. And you clearly, probably more than anyone I've ever seen ever, outkicked your coverage.
Yeah.
You've got a wonderful spouse
who
has been unbelievably supportive of you.
Yep.
And those kind of people, it's one way or the other, I see with entrepreneurs. And I would imagine with athletes too, that you've either got a spouse that goes, you go get them, Tiger. I'm here, and whatever it is, we're going to make it.
Yes.
Or tearing you down.
That's right, Chris. Man, my wife is my A1 day one, my ride or die.
Yeah.
And I mean that. My wife, we met at Wisconsin. She met me when I was a bench warmer. And she was the first person that I met where I was like, I play football. And she's like, oh, I could care less. And I was like, yes,
right.
That's my lady right there.
Mm-hmm.
Through all my injuries, through my transition, listen to all my crazy business ideas, she was right there. But most importantly, Chris, I get emotional talking about my wife because I love her so much. But one thing that drives me immensely is my wife is, hey, whatever it is, I got your back.
Yeah.
And that means everything to me because I'm not going to let her fail.
Right.
Not she's my woman. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for her.
Right.
And that drives me deeper because it's not self, it's her.
The purpose is bigger than you.
That's right.
And because she's been so good, and she metaphorically, I'm lucky. I have a Sarah at my house, right? Roxanne they're very similar. And I won't let it go down the tubes because of that.
That's right.
Because of that. There's no way in hell I'm going to fail. And I'm sure you have that same mentality.
Same mentality. And our wives are like long lost sisters.
That's right.
They look similar.
Yeah,
they like the same stuff. They'll
show up at meetings or events dressed the same.
Our kids got the same clothes.
That's right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's good. But having that right partner, whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you're into, spouse, whatever, it means the world. And you choose that carefully. And if you're going to be a driven entrepreneur and you've got someone that you're dating or whatever, and y'all aren't fully aligned on that, make the move before it's too late. Because I have seen so many business leaders fail because the spouse wasn't into it or didn't believe in it enough, or oh, you had a bad month, you should go get a job. Right? That kind of stuff, it happens. And you were unbelievably blessed that you chose right.
That's 100%.
You must have won her at a door prize or something, because she could have done so much better. I'm teasing. Every day I'm sure she wakes up and goes, how did this happen? Man. That's insider baseball. It's all fun. It's all
Chris
fun.
Chris beat me up in here, man.
He deserves it.
Holy cow.
Hey team, are you looking to elevate your golf game year-round? Nashville City Golf, located within the Nashville City Club at 200 2nd Avenue South, offers a premier indoor golfing experience right in the heart of downtown. With over 350 real-world courses available on state-of-the-art TrackMan.io simulators, you can challenge yourself on some of the world's most renowned fairways without leaving the city. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just starting out, our facility caters to all skill levels. Features of the club include TrackMan.io performance tracking, an adjustable swing stage, indoor putting, and great upscale lounge and food and beverage, as well as PGA instruction right on site. Nashville City Golf isn't just about swinging a club, it's about experiencing a revolution in golf practice and entertainment. Our cutting-edge features elevate your game and create an unforgettable experience. We offer flexible membership options to suit your needs, as well as booking for individual sessions. Ready to tee off? Visit NashvilleCityGolf.com to learn more about memberships, book a session, or schedule a lesson with one of our PGA instructors. Elevate your game at Nashville City Golf, where the best of golf meets the best of Nashville. So when you got here, Mike Hull kind of took you under his wing a little bit. Yeah. How did that work? What'd you learn from him? And now you've sprung off and you're doing some things with him and some things on your own. And how was that learning curve for you? How was that learning curve of coming out of football, being told what to do every single day, and now you're getting a mix of being told what to do, but you also got to go fly pretty quick by yourself?
Yeah, it was actually perfect because Mike Hull was he played linebacker for 5 years of the Dolphins too. So, and I kind of was in a circle of former NFL guys. So we all were former athletes, and then now we're doing real estate, and it was great because they've been in it for at that time 6 years. And I was able to kind of just hitch in right where they were at and learn from a lot of their previous mistakes, how they structured stuff. I was able to learn a lot of stuff from everything from how are they structuring their deals, opportunities here in Nashville, things that people aren't looking at, and they, whether that's the zoning code here or, they did a great job of being able to understand market drivers and stuff like that. So I was able to kind of start thinking entrepreneurial, right? Start thinking of opportunities, some of their successes and some of their failures. And, then, you see a lot of deals in real estate. You start learning underwriting, you start learning the zoning code here in Nashville. And then over time you pick up, oh man, hey, I picked up one deal. And then, a little time goes on, picked up another one and picked up another one. And then, if you got 4 deals, you got your schedule's busy if you're doing stuff the right way. Mm-hmm. So thankfully I got a good partner with Mike Hull on 2 of those. And I think again, it's just surrounding yourself with good people. Right. And then, just tapping into that network, right. Of everybody has a network, and tapping into that network because you just never know where that one relationship will take you, Chris. Yeah. It'll spring you forward, right? Mm-hmm. You never know what that one relationship will do, right? And if it's like, hey, if some of your listeners are like, I don't have relationships or I'm too young, it's like, well, what are you doing to network?
Right.
Like what real estate meetups are you going to? Or there's like entrepreneurial meetups regionally. Like I was doing all that in the NFL. And I didn't even know if I was going to be in real estate but I was always like, hey, I'm going to use the shield, like a Vince Biegel, former linebacker. I could care less about like the former linebacker stuff, but people ate that up.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to leverage that as long as I can.
Okay.
And just trying to grow that network. Yeah. Because that one relationship.
Yeah. So get out there and meet, greet. Even if you're starting at zero and don't know a soul, there are opportunities and groups. And what I tell people is, generally, folks want to help you out, but they don't know how to help. They don't know that you need it unless you say it, right? Yep. Like you go meet the right person, you ask the right questions, and generally folks are honored and flattered to help you along.
Yes. And then, Chris, I'll say this too, man, is trust.
Yeah.
There's a lot of amazing people out there, but there's also some bad characters.
That's right.
And, making sure your partner is kind of aligned with yourself and how you guys want to, and for value wise, because, I've seen bad actors and, you got to be cautious.
Yeah.
You got to be cautious. Mm-hmm. But that shouldn't derail you of saying, hey, I want to be able to take some opportunities, some risks.
Yeah.
But make sure you got some good people in your corner, man.
Talk to us a little bit about the other side of your life, which is PAC. Tell the group here what PAC is, because it's doing such great work, and you're a big part of it. So you've got your real estate business going on, but you're also now giving back big time. So walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so real estate stuff, but then PAC, like I mentioned earlier, it's a business combine for a business event virtually and in person for current and former athletes. And what we do is we are able to bring athletes in and we give them personal performance life coaches helping them transition away from their sport. Or, hey, who is this player as a man outside the game of football? I say, what are their values? How do they operate as a husband, as a father? And then professionally speaking, we connect them. We bring in industry leaders. Hillary is one of our financial literacy people, to multifamily, triple net lease. We do short-term Airbnb stuff. We got a guy who comes in, talks about business, LLC, S Corp structures. But we have a ton of industry leaders who come in and be able to pour into the athletes of figuring out what they want to do professionally. So, that's what PAC does. We've been around for 2 years, served around 650, mostly NFL guys.
What a gift, because you guys aren't learning this stuff in college, right?
No,
you're coming out with you got to learn whole new skill sets.
And the best part about it is, Chris, and credit to the NFL has been paying for it all for athletes. So, depending on how long you play in the NFL, you have these tuition reimbursement benefits, and you're able to go in there and use those benefits to come to PAC. So it's been awesome, man. I love, because we're very similar. Where we love connecting. Yeah. And impact too. I love seeing some of the guys who I brought to PAC, they're doing real estate, or they have actually started businesses, or they're actually got connected with some of the people there at PAC and are now doing something amazing, like actually working a sales job somewhere. So, and then I see their families benefiting from that. So it's been really cool to be able to help pour back into athletes, especially for NFL guys, for me. And it's also been therapeutic in ways, so I really feel super blessed, Chris, to be a part of PAC, helping those guys, and then also doing the real estate stuff, and being a father, all those three things keep me busy.
You're going through a reinvention, and that's a biggie too, guys. Many of us in life have got to go through reinventions, and some folks are terrified of that and put their head in the sand and don't do anything, and some embrace it and get after it, and you've been able to do that. The PAC is wonderful because it's helping people reinvent themselves.
Yep. And we're giving them the tools and resources to do that, I agree, Chris. The transition is hard. And I want to say I have had great days of the transition, but also I'll be lying, Chris, if I didn't have hard days too, right? I'm dang, I don't know, am I doing the right thing? I think when a professional athlete or anybody transitions, part of yourself is dying, and then you're reinventing yourself. And then there's also layers of people identified me as X.
Right.
And then there's also, speaking of professional sports, there's a financial stress too.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I was supporting this person, and now I'm probably not going to, and at the guilt.
Yeah.
Or, man, I'm not making that salary anymore. I might see myself different.
Do you know why I never talk to you about football? Because I don't want you to think I give a shit about it.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. No, I know that. And
I'm proud of you for it.
Yeah.
But that does not define the way I care about you.
Right.
Right. And I know that's lots of people get their identity, whether you're an athlete or not, can get their identity caught up in what they do for a living. They aren't the same thing. Your identity is Sarah and those two beautiful girls. That's your identity.
Yep.
What you happen to do to earn money's going to come and go, right? And you're a hustler. You're always going to find a way to make money.
Yep.
Right. But I purposefully don't want to hear your war stories about foot. They're interesting to me, but I know you've told them 1,000 times. You don't need that from our friendship.
Yep.
And I don't need it for our friendship.
Yep.
Right. I want to talk about, what are you doing now, man? Where are you going? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But to the point, people get caught up in their identity of what they're doing.
That's
and
right.
So whether you get fired or cut from the team, that is a jolt.
Yeah. Look at this. Coach is coaching right now. Look at him. Look at him. Coach is coaching in here, you guys. He's coaching in here, everybody.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah. I think athletes you guys are such a special breed. I mean, there's not many of you. You're born with a gift, and then the smart ones are able to do something with that gift through hard work. But you got so much more than that.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why I love PAC is you're helping athletes to pivot, and then you're just telling them this. You did something amazing. Now let's go climb the second mountain.
Yeah.
It's just that.
Yeah.
It's that click in their brain that I see. It's I can let it go.
Well, I love the part you said about let's go climb that second mountain, because one of the terms we use around here is that people do not fall on top of mountains. You've got to climb it. You got to climb it. And so when you go start a new business or a new chapter in your life, it's supposed to be hard.
Yep.
Right? That whole thing about if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. That's true. People don't fall on top of mountains. You got to climb those mountains. And, but all of that's doable. Every single person has the capability to go make something of themselves. Everybody does.
Amen. I could not agree with that more.
Yeah. How have you leveraged, or have you been able to, are you leveraging your football network in the real estate business at all?
Yeah. I mean, when I first came in, obviously with Mike and the guys, connected with them.
Yeah.
For sure, Chris. One of our investors on our property, our lead investor, was my former coach.
Oh, okay.
And it actually happened to be Mike Cole's former coach too.
Okay.
A guy who coaches in Miami. And it was that connection was like, hey, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. You guys are crushing. You guys are great players for me. I trust you guys. And he's our lead in one of our properties. And again, connections, man.
Yeah. And you earned your trust with him, right?
Yes.
I mean, he got to see you doing your thing, and although it wasn't real estate, he knew that trust is transferable.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. He did. He trusted me on the field. He was my linebackers coach.
Yeah.
He trusted me on the field, and then now he's entrusted me with this, which I actually, Chris, on projects that aren't mine, I run harder.
Yeah.
I run harder because, again, football analogy, but I run harder because, dude, I'm not going to let them down.
Right.
Like my stuff, that's on me, but I'm not letting that man down.
Yeah. People want to be around winners, and don't underestimate the power out there of you getting your butt up every day and giving it all you got, even if it's not your thing, even if you're still learning, you give it all you got, because winners appreciate people who try hard.
Yep.
And that is like a magnet approach. And your coach was impressed with you and Mike enough to say, I know you're new at this, but here.
Yeah.
I know your work ethic.
Exactly.
And I know that you're trustworthy. And so, okay, rock and roll. What about approaching investments in real estate and other areas post-retirement? How do you look at the world now, right? How do you, what financial principles from either your football career or family or whatever, how are those defining your business ventures and what you decide to put assets into?
Really good question, Chris. I think where I'm allocating capital right now is in myself. Because when I was playing in the NFL, I was doing LP investments where I was limited partner. Hey, I'm going to support this investment, this investment, this investment. As I'm starting to get capital back on some of these deals, where am I allocating that? It's back in myself and my deals. Because I've had some of those LP deals go actually way better than I thought. And I've had some of them go like, man, what's going on? And I've learned now within myself, if I'm going to put money, I'm going to put it behind myself.
Bet on yourself.
I'm bent on myself now.
Right.
I didn't have the time to be able to do the due diligence and look at certain stuff. I trusted people, right?
Right.
But I got the time now and I'm hungry. I'm going to freaking back myself now. And am I going to probably make some mistakes? Sure.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to make mistakes, but guess what? I'm okay with that because that's an investment back in here. So I want to have now control of my assets moving forward. I'm not LPing anymore. I'm GPing everything.
Awesome.
So that's how
freeing is that too?
Yeah. So everything shifted. That shifted for me because it's also like I didn't have time in NFL.
Yeah.
And now like this is my thing now.
Hey team, are you looking to elevate your professional and personal life in the heart of Nashville? Well, since 1957, the Nashville City Club has been the city's premier private membership club, offering an exceptional experience in fine dining, networking, and memorable events. As a member, you'll enjoy top-tier networking opportunities, business development events, mentoring programs, social mixers, and signature holiday celebrations. The club's private dining room serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a professional yet relaxed environment featuring menus crafted by Nashville's top culinary professionals. Members enjoy personalized concierge services, including bookings for concerts, events, sports, and dining reservations. Additionally, the club offers discounted private event spaces for personal and professional gatherings, accommodating over 200 guests at a time. We are located at 200 South 2nd Avenue The Nashville City Club provides a versatile environment that serves as both a home away from home and an extension of your office. The warmth of the staff, the energy of the city, and the pride of the community are felt instantly upon arriving. Join us for this thriving community of Nashville's most respected and accomplished citizens. Apply for membership today and experience the unparalleled benefits the Nashville City Club has to offer. For more information or to start your application, visit NashvilleCity.com or email info@NashvilleCity.com. Let's talk about how you've navigated your shift in your identity, which we talked about a little bit, from I'm a football player to now you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about one thing that I'm proud of you for, is that you are pushing your spouse up. And my guess is that while you were playing football, she was supporting your dream.
That's right.
And Sarah's got her own business now, and she is flourishing, and you are an absolute champion of that. And so you're girl dadding it.
That's right.
Hard.
I'm a girl dad.
Yeah.
I got my dad's or
says
dope.
so right there on the shirt.
Got my dad's or dope shirt on right now. People who are listening, dad's our dope shirt.
But I think about, and I'm proud of you you're totally okay taking a back seat to her.
I love it.
And that is so unique, because a lot of folks that get a little shine on them have a very hard time not having shine on them.
Dude.
And you are supporting her perfectly the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, my wife Sarah, she was an incredible rock for me in the NFL, and she was momming it, right? She had 2 kids in the NFL. She was being a great support for me. But then she's also an entrepreneur. She comes from an entrepreneur family.
Yeah.
And then when I got done, she just kind of started playing on Instagram. My wife started posting more, and then she's built up a following now, like 125,000 of this time of the recording. And she's been able to monetize that and she's been able now to get awesome opportunities.
Right.
And I've taken a back seat, and I'm now her +1.
How about that?
And bro, it's so awesome.
How great is that?
Yeah,
man?
I love it, Chris. I love.
And how good you're allowing her to flex, man.
Heck
And
yeah.
I don't mean that like you're allowing her, but she has room to breathe, right? And do her thing, and you're just supportive of it. Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, that is not an easy transition for most people. That is not an easy transition.
Well, it's just been fun because, kind of where Sarah, her following is like mom, kid stuff. And then like she has this kind of dark humor of the girls picking on me.
Right. So you're showing up.
I'm the butt of all jokes.
Yeah.
And I've really loved it because it's been a fun, playful time with the girls and I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's been a transition though, but like something that I really like though. Like I love being able to have that kind of relationship with, my girls and my wife.
Well, you and Sarah are doing a great job of modeling what good family looks like, and you're imprinting that on them.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah, for sure. So and I think also cool that the girls can look back one day and look at those timestamps of those fun times we had. So
they talk about what goobers you were. That's what they're saying.
Exactly.
Let's talk about your faith a little bit. How's your faith influencing your decisions and your direction in life after football?
Yeah, I grew up a member of the church, and I mentioned BYU earlier. Yep. That was kind of a hard decision between like a very religious school at BYU and Wisconsin, which is anything but BYU. I mean, if y'all want to have a good time, go to Madison, Wisconsin, right? And that was a big reason why I went there, Chris, is because I wanted to be able to have an impact on some of my teammates. I would have just been another Mormon kid or LDS kid that will go to BYU.
Okay. So faith was part of the driver for you to go to Wisconsin.
Huge driver. And then when I met Sarah, she wasn't a member of the church.
Okay.
She goes to church with me for 2.5 years, and I baptized her.
Wow.
And, and then my faith really, I like to say it like this, like my faith is very important to me, and it keeps me down when times are high, and then it keeps me up when times are bad. Mm-hmm. And it's just been a really constant in my life. And then also like my identity was rooted in him. Like my identity is rooted in my faith. Mm-hmm. So like that transition was a little easier because it wasn't like, oh man, the lights and shit. Like, like, nah, dude, like that's just a flash in the pan. That's such, earthly things. Mm-hmm. But like being able to be rooted in like faith and something really deeper, my family and the word, like that's really what kept me grounded, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And it made that transition a little bit easier. And then in business now too, I want to do things ethically. Like if I'm going to shake your hand, I'm going to say and do something, I'm going to dang well do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that business like stuff doesn't happen or, whatever, but like, dude, anything in my power, I'm going to be a man of my word. I'm going to do things ethically.
Mm-hmm.
So now in business, I really try to proceed that way. And I want to surround myself with people. You don't have to be like a religious person or like, a holy man, but like, I want people who have good values.
Yeah. I
want people who are a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my business to reflect that.
Good stuff. What advice do you have for athletes that are going to come to a season where they're going to have to prepare for life after sports?
Yes. Man, that's a really hard question for preparing for life after.
I know, man, because I go back to like I told you earlier, when I lived in Charlotte, I had a bunch of those guys in my neighborhood. I would never forget. One of them told me, we play too long, we play hurt, we play past our prime because I'm terrified I can't provide for my wife.
Yes.
The second I stop this.
It's fear. A lot of it's fear.
And then several of them also told me if they were a star in college. I had one tell me that you would know. He said, after my freshman year, I never went to one class and I got a degree.
I know.
And he said, at the time, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And he said, it ain't cool. I don't know how to do anything.
Yeah. So I say this to a lot of guys. If you're already coming out of the leagues, like, oh, what now? It's not too late, but you're already behind the 8 ball in a ways. I tell guys, because I talk to a lot of current players a lot, and I say, brother, when you're in the NFL, start planting seeds. Start planting seeds. You never know where that, maybe it's a real estate deal or, hey, I want to get involved in this, or I take a financial literacy course. You're planting these seeds because one day, whenever the NFL is done, whether that's in a year from now or 10 years from now, you're going to be done. And I don't want to see you walking into an empty field. I want to see you walking into a harvest.
Beautiful. So
is plant seeds, man. And even if you're in a current career and you have that desire to transition, what seeds are you planting? Because if you say, I'm going to quit my job and you're walking into an empty field, that's trouble, Chris. Hey, I quit my job and I got some stuff to harvest me for a little bit. Now we can work with that. Now we can work with that.
Good advice. And I'm sure that's hard for especially young guys that all of a sudden have a bunch of money and the girls are pretty and the cars are fast and you're over there telling them go plant a seed. And they're like, get out of here, cranberry boy.
Yeah, no, you're right, Chris. You're so right. Like you talk those rookies though, man, like, hey, I got my car, I got some jewelry. Yeah. It's every worst, your worst, it's like a nightmare. It's actually happening in real time. But I will say this though, Chris, the NFL players are getting smarter. The education is getting better. The awareness of don't go broke is getting more.
Okay.
Like that is definitely real. And the NFL is also, credit to them, they're putting resources to players to, hey, education, we'll support that. We'll pay for it. Chris, at the end of the day though, you can have all those resources. You got to walk it. You got to take that step. No one's going to do it for you. Like, do you think going back and getting your MBA is easy? No.
Right.
Do you think like taking a financial literacy course in your off season is fun? No. Right from your family, you only get a few weeks off in the year. Like, I'm going to take it. No. Dude, you got to go out and plant seeds, bro. Got to plant seeds, man.
Well, the folks still playing are lucky to have you and the Pack team in their ear that way. That's it. And hopefully they're smart enough to listen.
They do. And Chris, I will say this, man, I'm gonna paint a rosy picture. There's a lot of guys who care now. Like there's a lot of guys who wanna learn.
Yeah.
They have that growth mindset. They want to be coachable.
Yeah.
And I'm really optimistic to a lot of NFL guys.
Fantastic.
So I'm very positive to the future of the NFL, actually future of sports, because I think players are starting to really leverage themselves into the business world. We're seeing that more and more with,
Fantastic.
So, and everybody thinks of like, oh, the LeBrons and Kobe's. There's a lot of people out there you've never even heard of who are killing it in real estate or killing it in business. So, again, going back to your question, what advice? Just plant those seeds, man.
Okay. Talk to us about what's next for your journey, personally and professionally. What's on the horizon? What do you want to be doing next?
Man, this is when me and you start talking. I don't know. That's a really good question, Chris. I think for me right now, I want to continue to grow the real estate. And Chris, I've talked about this. I have a desire deep within me to own a business of some sort at some point in the next 5 years. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a service business. I love my real estate right now. I'm enjoying that. We're building out some rentals, but I would love at some point in the next 5 years to own a business, some type of service business, whether an HVAC company or a pool cleaning some company or some type of business that's got some good scalability. I would love that. I think there's some really smart money moving there. Mm-hmm. Again, that's not financial advice in here, but I think really smart people who I'm talking to, that's where money's moving.
Well, service-based businesses are going to be around for sure.
Yep.
AI can't replace it.
That's right. I was saying, stuff that AI can't really disrupt. So I'm kind of allocating capital my real estate stuff and I'm looking for that next business to run.
Awesome. Well, this has been great, man.
Chris, you have no idea how much I appreciate being on this and how much respect I have for you.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you showing up this time. Because the respect really shows when you don't show up.
Oh, man.
I'm kidding. Guys, Vince is a great story of grew up in a hardworking family, so that was imprinted on him very early. So if you're lucky enough to be raised that way, you're ahead of the game already. And folks that grow up in hardworking environments, I never hear them use the word hard work because that's all they know. They don't know the difference of, I'm tired today, right? They get up and grind it all day long and they're just getting in reps. And that kind of toughness transfers, whether you're an athlete or whether you're into your next career or whatever. If you're tough and you've got grit, you can conquer the world. You just get up and go. Just go do something.
Can I say one more thing, Chris, before I pop out? Is I saw that work being done.
Yeah.
So, I'm working on my computer a lot and I take my girls to sites because I want them to see the work.
Right.
Because I want to be like, Dad just sits in this all day. I want them to see the work.
Yes.
So I'm trying to implement that in my girls now of let them see that work.
Amen.
Because you can talk it, let's walk it.
That's right. And what a challenge as a parent now that, we're not growing up broke. So how do you teach your kids grit? Because you want to give them everything, but at the same time, you want them to have a work ethic. And that's one of the steps you're taking to do that.
Yep. And throwing them some sports.
That's whether they want it or not.
Whether they want it or not.
No, listen, everybody should be on a team. Team sports is,
Amen.
That's such a blessing. And you guys that are lucky enough to do that for a long time, you have an advantage. I think sometimes athletes coming out, and to your point, you're getting so many more resources now, but I think earlier, and maybe some still to some degree, they don't know what all they have inside. Just if you can run a football or catch a ball or shoot a ball, you've got so much that can transfer to the next thing if you've got the right conduit to get you there.
Yep.
So thanks a ton for being here.
Chris, man, this has been fun. I appreciate this, brother.
If you guys like today's episode, tell everybody and go follow us on all the platforms where you get your podcast. If you didn't like it, or if you're not a Wisconsin fan or a Packer fan or a Dolphin fan or a Saint fan, don't tell anybody about the podcast today. And until next time, stay well coached. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. I hope something in this conversation sparked a new idea or gave you a little clarity. We'll be back next week to keep digging into what it means to lead well, grow smart, and build something that lasts. Until then, stay well coached.